Alright, you guys. Got a Johnson. It's a 65. It's over there. 73, so that's a 65. I think it was EL. I've serviced this motor several times. So what does the tag say? 65 ESL 73R. So we see a lot of these for some reason. This is one that's I've serviced several times, and anyway, it's come back because he's got no spark. He said it was hard starting. It was hard to start, but then he also said he came back to the ramp, or I forget how he said this, but he said it wouldn't start. So first thing I did was hook up, took the spark plugs out, looked at the spark plugs. They look, they don't look great. I don't know, these engines, I just about replace spark plugs every year, but so I got out our Cdi Troubleshooting guide. I just printed off a couple pages for this engine. So the 3-cylinder engines, 72 to 78, 65 to 75 horsepower models with screw terminal power packs. So we're just going to go down and then give you a guide for trying to figure out what's happened, why we don't have spark. So the first thing they say is to disconnect the black yellow stop wire at the power pack. It does say if the ignition only sparks with the spark plugs out, the timer base is likely weak or the engine's not spinning fast enough. Which we've done that. We have the spark plugs out. And I've got my spark checker on there. I've got it set currently like a 1/4 inch, I think. But we need to just go down the list, disconnect the black yellow stop wire at the power pack, and retest. If the engine ignition has spark, the stop circuit has a fault, check the key switch, harness, and shift switch. So we want to look for that black yellow stop wire over here on the power pack. Let's see if I got a, I'll probably get a flathead. It's going to be over here. So black yellow, where are we looking for black yellow? You've got this. Right, but then on the box we don't have any labeling. So we may have to get out our diagram and I'll have to go get a screwdriver. Yeah. Alright. That is a negative. I can smell the gas though. That's good. So that's not going to be our problem. Disconnect the yellow wires from the rectifier and retest. And we just put a new rectifier on this last year, so it should be fine. Still no spark. So we're in neutral. So neutral safety is not a concern. Check the RPM. A cranking speed of less than 250 RPM will not allow the system to spark properly. Can be caused by a weak battery, dragging starter, bad battery cables. Yeah, we're probably sparking good. Check the stator and base timer resistance and DVA output is given. So from brown to brown yellow, we need to see about $400 to $600. put it on about 2K, I guess. So now we're gonna see here. Brown to brown yellow. Okay, I think that's these two guys, which are going. So yeah, 500, 568 basically. And then black white to white black should be 10 to 20 ohms, and we're at like 14. Yeah, we got continuity 14.8. 14.8. Alright, and then we're going to do, yeah, so black, white, I'm going to do that again. Black, white to white, black should be 10 to 20. Okay, so we shouldn't have continuity. I believe that's a problem. We got continuity between these three wires. So this is a black white, black white to white black, black white to white black. That's what's going on. I'm gonna walk up here. So this is our black white down here. And then which one is going to be a black? That's our black, white, white, black. And we got 7.5 ohms. And continuity. So then it says to check black, white to engine ground should be open. And it's got like 180 ohms. Okay. Black, white. We got 180 ohms. But it should be open. And then what we got here? Alright. So we've got about 180 ohms to ground everywhere. And it says it should be open. Okay. So what does this say? It says this reading is used to determine if the stator or pack has a problem. For instance, if you have no spark in any cylinder and the stator's DVA reading is low, disconnect the stator wires and recheck the DVA output. I think it's going to be hard. I'm going to have to get a couple of jumper wires. I want to check the voltages. I'll just make it easier because it just clips on. Alright, so what did it say again? Let's go down the list. Brown to brown yellow. It's supposed to be 150 to 400 volts. So we're going to put this on like 1,000 volts. Let's go like 750. See if I can if it even let me. Oh, first of all, we're going between these two. Right. Let's see what we got. Alright, so we got no voltage there. That's saying we should have voltage. Alright, so then let's go to black, white, white, black. And that noise you hear, I have just really a battery charger. So let's put this back on like 200. See if we get in. Nothing. And it does say low voltage, so white, black, 0.6. If it's low, which it says it is, okay. If you have no spark in any solar and the stator's DVA reading is low, disconnect the stator wires and recheck the DVA output. If the reading stays low, the stator is bad. So we're going to go white, black to engine ground and see what that voltage is. Hopefully somewhere I can get a good... Okay, not reading anything there. Not reading anything there. So we're not even reading the voltage there at all. Yeah, I got nothing there. Okay, we have nothing there either. Because it says voltage should be DVA connected 150 to 400 volts, and that's black, white to engine ground. I got nothing. Yeah, nothing. Just to make sure I got a good ground, let's just go somewhere else. Right here would be this would be a good ground. Make sure I'm on the right terminal here. Yeah. And we don't have anything. No voltage whatsoever. So it does say to disconnect it and recheck. So let's do that. So we can see there we have no voltage on this black white. There's absolutely none. Probably we have, like what it said, if the stator or pack has a problem, for instance, if you have no spark on the cylinder, then our stator DVA reading is low, disconnect the stator wires and recheck the DVA output. Yeah, so we can disconnect all 3 wires of the stator. And this one has white, black. White, brown, white. And the top one was empty. Alright, so let's go back to this. So, and now we're selecting out of the white, the ground. We have nothing. I would assume this would be an AC voltage. Yeah, we have, so far we have nothing. Alright, so we got some voltage on this one, the ground, and it's very low. Extremely low. Yeah, very low. One last thing I'm gonna do is I wanna check the output of the other side of the stator. So I'm starting to think it's a trigger, because that's the trigger that goes down 12 volts. See if it goes that. It's only showing 1 volt DC. Okay, that's interesting. That should not be 1 volt. That should be, I would think, 12 volts. Or is it because we're... Yeah, so with with this guy, it's showing only... Let's see what happens if we do this. I'm gonna experiment right here. It just kind of leads me somewhere. See if I can do this. I do have some jumper cables. Some jumper wires. How's this doing? It's probably almost dead. mean, we're good voltage. So you can see where DVA is not going to show you the true voltage. Okay, so the rectifier, that portion of the stator is working. I believe they're probably the trigger and the power pack is bad. That's just what I'm thinking right now. I don't know. And I can look at this over here. Just disconnect this. Even though, I mean, we're disconnected now, we still have no spark. What is happening? So we wouldn't have anything. Anyway, I think we got a bad trigger. Okay, I wanted to go back and had to think about this, reading this troubleshooting guide. You know, it's kind of interesting. But I disconnected over here brown, yellow, and brown. Now, there's been a repair here. You know, but I believe this is a good repair and this is working. So I just I had some just a couple of little jumper cables because can't hold it, you know, I will hold it voltage and everything. But I'm just going on my leads. I don't have a DVA connected to this. It's just a regular voltmeter. I mean digital voltmeter. Okay, so this is just between the two. So from brown to that brown yellow. So on resistance I got about, yeah, it's kind of jumping around, I don't know why. So looks like 700 ohms. So that's a little higher than earlier, because they're saying that they want a resistance of 400 to 600 ohms. But let me turn the key on and see what happens. And now still slightly higher. So we don't want to rule out, you know, what component is it. So if we go to our voltage, then try to, you know, start it. Well, turn the key here. I don't know. It's not much voltage. Volt. You know, they're saying they want to see 150 to 400 volts. See what happens if we're on AC. Yeah, so that's working. That's 160 volts. So 150. So as it gets higher RPMs, it'll go up. So that side's working. Alright, now I just got to figure out what's happening with the other side. So the first thing they want is, you know, you got black, white, alright, or you got white, black, and that's coming from the trigger side. So let's go, you know, back just to, we'll go with the DVA attachment. I don't know. I'll just do this real quick because it's easy. But now I have to connect these two back. once I know the stator's good, then I'll have to connect these two back, and then I can go to this black and white wire to ground and see what kind of voltage, you know. No voltage now because the stator's not hooked up. So let me look at my diagram again on how to connect those back, because I didn't look when I took them off. No big deal though, I've got a diagram for it. Well, okay, I guess this is going to be my final diagnosis of this motor. I probably should have done this from the very get-go, but at least you guys can see I thought we had no spark situation. I did a compression test and we have 125 on this cylinder. We only have 45 on this cylinder, and we got 123 on the bottom cylinder. So to prove this, I've just got my compression tester up here. I'll spin the motor, and you can see that even though I've discovered that it has a bad trigger, because I've verified that now, I know I have a good, I have a good, stator. Don't know about the power pack, but it looks, by what I saw there, that we have a good power pack. But if we have a dead cylinder, then it's something else, So here it goes. So you can see I spun it up pretty good, and we still only got to, hopefully you can see this, but we still only got to, what was that, like 40? Yeah, about, I guess, 40 PSI on that cylinder. And, which, I don't know, it's weird, it's holding. If it was a gasket, maybe it would fall down. But obviously, the rings are not creating enough pressure, to get that cylinder up. So this engine would have to either be overhauled or at best probably rearranged and rebore. I mean, it's a dead engine. It's unfortunate for this guy, and I know him, and I did this twice just to verify, and this is on here tight. And I can even do it again. So yeah, around 40 PSI, just not much of anything. And when the top and the bottom registered 125 PSI. So just throw this one up here on top so you can see it. Get in there. And yeah, this one's showing at 120. I got a little more earlier, so I don't know. See if it will, but that's the way I'm holding it. I'm not sure. As I wrote 125, but you can see it's about 120 where the other one was at 40. So I guess we're at an end with this one. So my final diagnosis is that it has a bad trigger, or timer base they call it, and it also has a dead cylinder, number 2. Well, we're just over here saving one outboard at a time. So this guy, obviously, I just found out that this number 2 piston has no compression. So what do? You know, because you gotta have to buy another motor. I mean, these are your options: buy another motor, used motor, new motor, whatever. Put another motor and put it on this boat. Number 2 option is maybe you go ahead and open it up and see what damage is happening, which is what we're gonna do. We're gonna at least pull the head so we can look and see what the cylinder walls look like, and see if the piston rings or if it's just a head gasket failure. You know, it's still a pretty good fix, even if I fix that. So I really like this guy, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna take the head off. I'll try not to charge him much, you know, but I do have to charge for my time. It is what it is. But I want to try to go the extra mile to help him see what he really has to deal with. So the next step for me is to disconnect our battery, disconnect all the electrics, and then let's take this head off. I'm going to empty this tub that I got, because I did want to, you know, run it without water. So I just got my little thing here, and unfortunately I have to let all this water out. And you know, I'm going to take all this out of the way and see if I can get the head to come off, so we can at least see what that looks like. And we really got to just take off these big bolts. This part of the head, you know, where it's into the cylinder and it's into the water pump side, we'll wait on that first. I just want to see what the other head is. You know, I want to try to avoid basically busting a bolt. And I've already told him this, that I can try to take this off, but I can't guarantee that a bolt won't break. To the cylinder. Ooh, I smell some barbecue. Barbecue. You guys are way back there. Come on in here. Take a gander. Take off the wire of the solenoid so I can get that wiring harness out of the way. What are you doing, Chucky? Now we got that. I'll take this bolt out, which is the ground wire. That way, maybe I got loosen these a little. There we go. Whoa. Alright. Well, that's all of them. There's a couple in the bottom that's kind of there, but it's not holding. Okay, so unfortunately we're going to have to take the electrical plate off. Well, Okay, you guys, this is the you know, that 7365 horsepower with the number 2 is, you know, this is pretty pitted. We could tell by the aluminum color that, you know, it was obviously I don't know, piston ring or something caused it to kind of look this way. But we can see there's parts of either the ring or something was kind of rattling around here, and it really pitted it compared to, like, you know, the number, what would this be, the number 1 right here is nice, and I mean, it looks really good, and so does the number 3. Number 3 looks a little wetter than, say, you know, this one or this one. So not sure what caused this, but I'll go ahead and I'm gonna pull this cowl and give you guys a shot of that. You can't get these off, these 3 cylinders, so you can get the you can't get the head off of these. But anyway, here's a shot of this piston, and we can see, like, there's some damage up here. You know, it's pretty pitted. Just something, either some carbon broke off, probably some kind of aluminum. Now, you know, it turns okay. Yeah, I'll get it back here as far, that's about where it's done, and then, you know, we'll have to just check this, you know, this out. Now I can feel, like, especially like right there, I can feel the pitting. I mean, it's all the way up in here. I can, like, scratch it. It's definitely not smooth. I don't know that you could ever get that out. You know, I don't know. You know, it almost looks like it has a sleeve, but I've never seen one. I don't do them, so I don't know if you can get the sleeve out. You could re-sleeve it. I mean, it looks like it has a sleeve that just goes in, but gosh, how do you do that? You know, special tool. I don't know, but I guess you can't really see it very well. Get a rag and maybe wipe it off. It's definitely wet, so, you know, it was getting some lubrication from the carb. So, you know, it's kind of like, well, what caused this? Is it not cooling right? And it just got a lot of heat, but yeah, we can feel it. There's a lot of, like, that would never seal very good, because you'd have to hone that, and it's really, especially up here at the top. I think it's got pretty good amount of pitting, to the point that you couldn't just get another piston and some rings. I don't think it would ever have very good compression. You know, the way, I mean, we could open it up and then just take this piston out, take a good look at it. But yeah, I mean, it's really badly damaged. So that's what happens whenever you drop a piston. It's not always like just locks up on you or anything like that. You know, maybe we have a piston ring that's broken, and this is the damage. It came loose, and I don't know. You know, something gets sucked up in the fuel. Was this not getting cool properly? I kind of doubt it. I think it's got a pretty good chamber. I don't see anything crazy here. I don't know. And then, you know, the other ones seem fairly okay. We had good compression there. We had 123, which, you know, it's a little down. we could probably just, you know, if we wanted to, we could rehone these two, and the compression might come up some. But I doubt that we're ever going to get this back to, like, say, even 120. That's just my gut feeling. You know, the only thing I could say is if I ever got another one of these or something, maybe, you know, we could do something. It's pretty much a dead motor. I'm going to have to just see what Jorge wants to do. I feel bad for him because, you know, whenever this happens, it's not a cheap deal by any means. Hey, so I was editing the video and I thought about this, and one of the failures could be on those engines. They have 3 cylinders and they have 3 carburetors, and so each cylinder has their own carburetor. So if you have a failure on the top carburetor, then it's going to affect the number 1 cylinder, and I think that's what happened. Is the number 2 carburetor might have been spraying, or it got clogged and it's not spraying as much, whatever happened, and now, you know, it's number 2 is just gone because there was no lubrication. I don't think this was a situation where there was no water or cooling. I think this had to do with lubrication. Thanks for watching and liking and subscribing. If I could talk. Got my coffee this morning. Just interesting because on here it says do not use sealer. I mean, the gasket looks pretty good. I'm taking off the other side of it, and obviously, like on this head, might as well just pull it out here. Because, you know, you have your gasket that's for your thermostat, and then you have another gasket here that's for the other part of this water jacket. So I don't take these off because a lot of times a bolt might break on you. You know, if it does, then you gotta tap, or you just gotta get another head. So, but in the light here, we can definitely see the discoloration. It's pretty cool, really. It's amazing that it discolored it like that. You know, lots of pitting. So for this 73, unfortunately, I think might end up in the scrapyard. So, you know, it has a lot of good parts on it. You can sell it, part it out. It's good, got a good lower unit. I guess if any of you guys are interested in this, you can just contact me. But it's got to be fairly recent because, you know, once we let go of it, it's gone. And it'll be gone forever, but, you know, lots of good parts on a good starter. Brand new starter, looks like. Good flywheel. The timing base is gone. I mean, it doesn't work, so that's the only thing that would need to be replaced. So, talk to you guys soon.